Southwest Airlines will offer an entire row to plus size flyers, according to the company's customer of size policy.
A whole row.
Yes. So we've been talking about this a lot lately, how there was a plus size blogger, her name's Jalen Chaney, who's launched this petition to demand that plus size people get an extra seat for free. She also still wants bigger aisles and bigger bathrooms. She hasn't got to this one yet, but Southwest Airlines did succumb to this policy. They said, yeah, okay, we'll do that. Their new policy says that plus size passengers can purchase one seat and get the adjacent seat for free. And there's specific ways that you do this. You either can buy two seats or you get there and you get a pass for the second seat. But the airline says that they'll be flexible so that if an extra plus size person needs the seat next to them and the seat next to that, or maybe one on either side, they can accommodate that, which would mean the entire row. They are the only airline to have a policy like this. Now take a look at this customer of size policy. Very little at the bottom. It says that they will honor this even if the flight oversells.
Whoa, wait a second. So if okay, we're going away for the holidays, our whole family's there, we got 3 kids, 5 of us, the flight is oversold. Then they will, what that means is they will kick people off the flight. They will kick
paying customers off to honor this extra seat policy.
And what they'll do is they'll first ask, they'll make an announcement.
Yeah.
We've all seen it, right? They'll make an announcement over the loudspeaker. Hi, this flight is oversold. We're going to give a free voucher for anyone who would like to take a later flight.
Yes.
Or tomorrow. You can come back to the airport tomorrow and we'll pay you we'll give you a voucher and like $100 bonus or something like that, whatever, to come back tomorrow. We'll kick you off. If anyone, any takers, and usually no, because people are traveling, they need to go someplace on purpose. And then if they don't have any takers, then they start going through and kicking people off the flight.
Yes, they will. And so the people, the way Southwest boards is you don't reserve a seat. It's sort of like cattle, A, B, and C. So it's either C people didn't get on, you didn't get a seat, you got to go, right? And the thing is about this extra seat is that you get priority boarding, or you have to ask for it because you are a person with extra medical needs. And so a plus size person will board first, put their pass down on that seat, and it can't fill up. So if you're a paying customer who just happened to get a C because you were A, B, and C, you're not going to get on. And one thing, though, they say they don't force people out of their seats. So if you don't board early and there's not an extra seat for you, you're kind of out of luck. So you have to board early and do that "this seat is taken" bit, or put that pass down on it. They say anyone can qualify as long as their body precludes them from putting the armrest down. So as you know, I can't go there and say, I'd like an extra seat just because I want to. I'm feeling kind of bloated today. Doesn't work. You have to actually not be able to.
Do they put you know how they test your luggage in those like metal cart things? They're like, hey, will your luggage fit in this thing? And then if not, sorry. So they have you sit in like some sort of a fat container.
And then see if it goes down.
Like, all right, come on, you got to go over here and sit in the fat seat. And if the arm thing doesn't come down, then you get a free seat.
I guess that's only fair, right? They weigh the dog. The dog has to be under 9 kilos.
Like if you want a free seat and you want a whole row, you got to sit in the fat seat, and we got to see if you're legitimately, going to spill over into the other aisle.
Right. Now, this blogger, Jalen Chaney, who is at the forefront of this movement.
When you say blogger, she's a TikToker.
Yeah. We'll call her that. Has admitted that retrofitting for larger people and giving them extra space will drive costs up for everyone. But given that no U.S. state has an obesity rate under 25%, I guess she thinks that's worth it because there are enough overweight people to drive up the costs for the rest non-overweight people. Now, remember, we showed you this video of her demands for hotels to follow suit and retrofit.
We deserve an environment that respects our needs and body diversity. These are the exact steps that hotels can take to be more size inclusive and accessible for travelers of all sizes. Number 1 on the list, provide sturdy, wider chairs without armrests in guest rooms, lobbies, and common areas to accommodate different body sizes and types. Number 2 on the list, ensure beds with strong support and a higher weight capacity, along with providing reinforced chairs and wider bathroom facilities. Number 3, make elevators and hallways spacious to allow for easy movement of larger individuals and those utilizing mobility devices. Number 4, install grab bars in showers and near toilets. Offer adjustable handheld shower heads and raised toilet seats for added accessibility. Number 5, train staff to be respectful, understanding, and accommodating to travelers of all sizes. Number 6, provide pool lifts and handrails at the entry of the pool. This will allow for plus-size guests and guests with different abilities to enjoy all amenities. Number 7, hotel restaurants should have roomy seating options and sturdy chairs, ensuring that everybody can dine comfortably. Number 8, offer larger beach and pool seating. Provide oversized loungers and seating at the beach and pool areas, allowing travelers of all sizes and abilities to be comfortable. Number 9, hotels should provide size-inclusive bathrobes. These should go up to a size 6X and beyond. And hotels should also provide bath sheets or plus-size friendly towels so that travelers of all sizes and abilities can use them comfortably. And last but not least, this is an important one. Display clear and accurate information on these amenities on hotel websites. Include weight limits, seat dimensions, and things like that. And include information on the size-inclusive amenities available. This will help plus-size travelers make informed decisions. By implementing these size-inclusive hotel amenities, hotels can become more inclusive and accommodating. Be sure to hit that follow button for more plus-size travel tips and share this with someone.
What she's advocating here is a total reordering of society for just this group. Clearly.
Right. She wants these companies to spend millions upon millions of dollars to retrofit their businesses because she overeats.
Right. Well, that's the way you want to cover this, yes. And the way that CNN covered this when this story became part of the conversation earlier this year is with this human rights, as a human rights issue, with this expert saying, well, I'd be concerned to see this type of argument being advanced where immutable characteristics of a person are being used for assessing fees. Whereas should she pay extra because she has a larger body? And he's saying, yeah, she should not have to pay extra because this is an immutable characteristic. What he's saying is being overweight is immutable. That is false. Being overweight is mutable. Obesity is not a disease. A disease is a cellular malfunction. Obesity is an addiction that causes disease. It's linked to every type of cancer known to man, diabetes, and which is now known to be linked to Alzheimer's. So this narrative is that obesity is immutable, but biological sex is mutable. Get the heck out of here with that. Now, the major problem with this is not just about being insensitive or mean to fat people, which I never want to do. It's about the expanding powers of the medicine arm of the state. This is what Thomas Saz, author of Pharmacracy, has been warning about since the 60s. He says alcoholism, obesity, suicide, and violence, they say, are killing Americans. Individuals are not responsible for eating or drinking too much, for killing themselves or others. It's a rejection of personal responsibility for one behavior or another. It drives the politics of therapy. Right? The government declares a war on drugs, cancer, heart disease, obesity, mental illness, poverty, racism, sexism, suicide, and violence. However, drug addicts refuse to abstain from drugs. The obese overeat. The mentally sick reject being treated. Coping with these and other health emergencies requires enlarging the scope and coercive powers of medicine as an arm of the state, which actually has happened. And we've seen it happen since the pandemic. Not only does this expand the government's medicine state, but it erodes your freedom. Also, it leads to a divisive society because people who are not a part of this protective group say, well, how come I don't get those privileges? For me, especially who's traveled a lot with a lap infant, I think, well, why don't I get an extra seat for my baby? That's extra weight. It's an extra person. And it's hard to fit in between those two armrests with a tiny baby. Why don't I get a free extra seat for that? I don't. Here are some other responses saying, well, this guy says, I'm 6'6". They never offered me an extra seat because I don't fit. She says, you need to pay. He says, you need to pay.
I would love to lay down. I'm 6'2". I'm not 6'6". Holy smokes. And I would like to, on an overnight flight, instead of, paying for like the business class or the first class stuff or whatever, I'd like a whole row as a bed.
Well, Clayton, for sure, your legs don't fit, right? And so if we're talking about fit, it's one
Every
thing
time I'm sitting there, somebody in front puts that tray table down or slides back or like wants to recline 5 inches, it smashes my knees.
Right.
And I have to put my legs like out in the aisle where then the drink cart comes by and smashes my knee. So
but if you want the seat with extra leg room, you do have to pay.
Yeah, I have to pay for it if I want the extra leg room.
So you have to pay this way, but you don't this way.
Right. So then I'll get a free row from now on. I'll claim the fat tax and I'll just turn sideways and I'll just take up a whole row and lay back and get a pillow.
Clayton would do it too because he likes that kind of confrontation. And finally, here is this woman named this is Proud Patriot saying glamorizing obesity is not a good look. Southwest Air. One thing that Stuart Varney on Fox said about this is that it's creating this whole new industry that is a lawyer's charter because everyone's going to want to sue over this, called obesity discrimination. You're going to see this playing out in courts all over the place. In fact, Colorado, which doesn't have has the lowest obesity rate in the state, in the country, is now saying, well, we're going to create laws around to prevent obesity discrimination. It's just going to create lawsuits and not actually prevent any obesity discrimination. We're going to leave the last word with this woman, Daisy Duke of Bama, it's Alabama, asking for a discount if she doesn't need an extra seat.
So I see where Southwest Airlines is now offering seating to obese and or person of size a plane ticket and giving them an additional seat for the same price. So my question is, all this is great and wonderful, people of size, but am I going to get a discount for being a normal BMI? For being a healthy person? Do I get a discount for not taking up 2 or 3 seats on an airline? On an airline, you can't fit in a seat on an airline, and you're going to pay the same price that I'm going to pay for a plane ticket. Am I going to get a discount for not eating your crappy plane food and your crappy peanuts and drinking your alcohol and all your fruit juices and stuff? When do we get a discount for being healthy? When do the healthy people get rewarded for not being people of whatever? Because I personally would like to see some rewards for not eating my way into 2 plane seats. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this segment here at Redacted. We are live every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, trying to share the stories that the mainstream media will not cover. You should also come over and join our community of Redacted Rebels over at redacted.inc. That's our private locals community where we can share exclusive content that we simply cannot share here on YouTube. Come over and join the rebellion together right now by going to redacted.inc. We'll see you next time.